Good evening, all. Let us continue our interview series. What is your greatest weakness? Is a generic interview question. Answering this question can be a great opportunity to highlight how you have overcome a challenge in the past or are actively working to do so now. After all, everyone has areas that could use improvement. But if you can describe how you have mitigated yours, you will seem strong, capable, and in charge of your professional development. How to answer what is your greatest weakness? Be honest. An answer that sounds genuine and authentic will impress, while one that sounds generic, calculated, exaggerated will do the opposite. Clearly describe your weakness, preferably with specifics, not vague cliches. Hiring managers have heard hundreds of times, like I am a perfectionist and a workaholic. Give a short example of a time your weakness affected your work. Talk about what you have done to improve your weakness. Really showcase your growth trajectory, your learning curve, what you have done as a result of the awareness of that weakness. Discuss some examples which you can highlight as weakness during job interviews. Getting too caught up in small details, being too hard on yourself, getting nervous while speaking in groups, ignoring constructive feedback, locking in on a certain idea or way of doing things, losing track of tasks and deadlines, not being confident, not knowing when to ask for clarification, not picking up non-verbal cues, overlooking small details, procrastinating tasks, struggling with time management, taking on too much work rather than delegating or saying no. I revert from an entry level IT employee, which impressed me when I interviewed her. My greatest weakness was not knowing when to say no to extra tasks. As an entry level IT employee, I was sure that the best way to impress was to make the people I worked with think that I could literally do it all. If someone wanted something fixed by tomorrow, I had promised to do it by tomorrow, even if I had already had four high priority tickets on my plate for the day. I found myself working long hours, and my supervisor talked to me about how I was doing extra tasks, but my main work was getting sloppier and slower. I realized that I needed to get back better at saying no. With my supervisor's guidance, I started asking a few standard questions whenever I was given a new task, such as when it needed to be addressed by, what kind of flexibility there was in the timeline, and whether the employee had tried some simple fixes they could do themselves. I also started scheduling an hour each morning and afternoon for things that popped up. But outside of these times, unless something was on fire, I was working on my core job of strengthening our internal network security. Over time, I have become way better at prioritizing, communicating, and setting expectations and making sure extra tasks didn't prevent me from getting my work done and done well. This is a great opportunity to highlight your leadership skill and highlight the steps you had taken to overcome the weakness. Thank you very much for your time. All the best.